Man, I love Kingdom Rush games, and at a certain point I always think, can there be a multiplayer Kingdom Rush game where I can compete? Not just compete, but have a multiplayer experience in Kingdom Rush universe. Feels too good to be true, to be honest. Feels like a dream. But that would be surely too much cool, for sure. Well, that just is a dream. Well, let's take a look at all here. Is that what I think it is? Kingdom Rush Battles. Am I in a dream? It is finally here. Kingdom Rush Battles, the full-style Kingdom Rush multiplayer game and the full-style multiplayer game overall made by Einheit Game Studios. Overall gameplay of the entire game Kingdom Rush Battles is completely unique in terms of every single other multiplayer game I have ever played. As Kingdom Rush takes us into a tower defense game, this is also a tower defense kind of inspired multiplayer game where you have two sides, where opponent's side is above and yours is below, and the map is divided into two symmetrical parts from which enemy will spawn in, and you have to stop them from getting into the endpoints, which is a lot similar. If you have already played Kingdom Rush games, you're just gonna be familiar with the entire mechanics of the game very much fast. So there are in total 4 different types of towers. There is artillery, there is mage, there's barracks, and an archer tower, or you can say marksman tower, anything you like. 3 spells in total which you can carry into each match, and 1 hero only which you can get yourself into as a player into a game. And we're gonna talk more about the rarities and how each rarity has different attributes and all, but for now, just understand the basics of the game. Enemies come in and you can basically kill enemies, or the mobs, anything you would like to call them, I would consider. And when you kill them, you get gold, and if you manage to complete the entire round just before the opponent has, you will start getting extra gold on basis of you completing the wave a lot much more faster than the opponent, which gets you a little bit of an advantage for getting more gold. But here's another catch. There are in total 5 waves which happen, and 5th one is the boss fight, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. But you just need to understand that as many waves goes on, the waves get harder and harder. But that's not the only way which you can win, because there are a few towers which have the abilities to mess around on the map. For an example, Dorp can just block 2 towers, so those 2 towers will be not able to attack completely. Or there is artillery too, which can stun opponent towers for a pretty long time, which has cooldown too, but of course the cost increases as per you increase the level of each tower, I would consider. So it's very interesting how you take a look into this strategic combination. That's the reason where decks come into the hand. You have to build great strategy in order to counter the opponent and the meta as we go on. But for now, you just had to understand the basic mechanics. But there's one more thing left. With the Kingdom Rush Battles is going to be becoming a huge part of my channel too, as I love the game from its core part, and I will keep on making videos for it. So if you're interested in guides, data infos, and more, I will be doing my best to provide the best content for you guys. So if you consider subscribing, it will help me out a ton. And back to the video. Boosters come up after each of the wave ended. So once both of the players manage to end a wave, you will be able to see 3 boosters popping up on your screen, from which you can take any one of those. So there are a few boosters which are support type. Support type boosters are basically with something which helps you. Example, tower damage boosted, spell cooldown reduced, or even increase in coins. There are sabotage boosters, like one which freezes opponent's tower after a few every seconds here and there. And there is spawner boosters, spawn special enemies on opponent's wave. For an example, Troll Zerker, who is basically a powerful version of a troll, I would consider. More still balances are happening, so the clip you're watching right now is basically beta gameplay, and things can change as the game progresses on its own way. But wait, did I tell you? But that is not the only way through which you can win. You can also win by killing the boss before your opponent does. So there are in total 2 unique bosses in each of the arena, and so far there are 3 arenas in the game, so you can consider there to be 6 bosses. All bosses have their own unique attributes here and there, and few even has resistances to specific amount of damage, for example magic resistance and so on. So you will have to strategically predict and even make changes into your strategies as the wave goes on, and that's the best part about the entire game. And you can even micro your hero all around the map. Now look at that, you can even micro hero just like in Kingdomish games and build the towers as a defense. It's purely great combination of multiplayer experience with strategy, and I really love it. There are rarities in which cards are divided to, so let's start off with the most common one I would consider, which is marked with blue color. I would consider these are just common. They don't have any special attributes through which you can get an extra advantage of using them. As you go a little bit above from rare to epic to legendary, the amount of special attributes which exist will increase. Legendaries have 2 attributes and 1 extra ability which they possess. Epic has better attributes but just 1 better attribute, and when it comes to rare, it's basically it has just 1 small extra attribute I would consider, but that does not make cards too much unbalanced at the same point, because the balancing is done very much well enough. I won't be talking about every single detail as this is just an overview of the video. Once the game comes out and I can make more videos about it, I'll be letting you know every single thing about the game, from the most top surface level to the deepest part of the game. But this special attribute thing isn't just attached to towers, but it also exists in the spells and the heroes. Even heroes have different type, like ranged, melee, support, and flying heroes like the dragons. But my personal favorite heroes to use in the game is Deirdre and Ashbite so far. And when it comes to tower, it's Arcane and Dwarf. And just like that, there are spell types too, like utility, there is summon type, which are reinforcement, and the damage dealer. The damage dealer ones have longer cooldown compared to the other ones, and utility normally have lot much more less compared to the other ones I would consider. Depending on what the spell does, you can use it as per your strategy and how you want your deck to look like. Every arena also possesses different sets of enemies, which makes the game a lot much more fun. Few new heroes coming up in this entire game, and I'm really excited for you to check it out. I'll be playing it when it comes out. Well, technically I'm already playing it, so consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video, and until there, keep on rushing. And yes, the rumors were true. At the time I was the #1 player. At the moment I'm on number 3rd, but sooner or later will be #1 again.